The point that I'm making, certain minimum values must be found within the law. But in this case, the Tawanda Nyambere article that I referred to, which was in the Herald, I read it through. I am not saying that I am just disagreeing with it on the basis of what it is saying about the law. The law must never allow the reserve bank. If it is current, it must be current. That's what it can control. If you are calling it, if you are not saying it's current, then you have no jurisdiction to deal with things that are not current. Either way, there's Zimbabwean currency or we don't have it. There's no, it is in either or situation. And the Reserve Bank is created to deal with currency. If it is not current, it must not be dealt with by the Reserve Bank. Now, if you now want to see, after this lecture, watch the debate on this, how Zimbabweans are debating. They want to live in a world of their own, where they think these things can happen, where you can print money and then you actually take away the real money using those kind of things and so on. It has happened before. And so, creating serious problems. Now, as a matter of law, the common law says that the relationship between a banker and the customer is just a contract of a debtor and a creditor. Just a contract. So you give your money to the bank, and you say to the bank, you can use this money for your own purposes. But when I want it back, you give me on demand. That's what the contract says. You know it. That's the banker-creditor relationship. Here is your money. Here is my money. You are allowed to take. That is what the contract is. And you can use it. So you can lend it to other people, make profits. But whenever I need it, I will need it on demand. You may agree in your contract that I'll give you notice if I want it in a certain value. Now, what is the Reserve Bank doing? They are not worried about any other debtor creditors who are not banks. So you can give me your money and I'll give you bank. As long as I'm not a bank, the Reserve Bank is not interested. But you can get people out there with more money in their debtor creditor relationships. But the moment you call this one a bank, then they start coming into the intervening with that contract. Alright, you cannot get it back at a given time. You can only get 1,000 back. What is that not meant? I mean, look at that. I have given money to a bank pursuant to a banker creditor contract. And my contract with this bank is that I'll get my money when I need it. And that is our agreement. If you want the economy to develop, allow people to enter in those agreements. And then I can get 1,000. It doesn't matter what you want to use the money for. You gave your money to the bank, $30,000. Today you have a funeral. You want to bury your mother. And you need no less than 10,000 to do that. You go to your bank to do that, and you are told that you cannot get back your money. And we say that is the rule of law, because there's a law that allows the Reserve Bank to do that. I'm just going to make this sense. So when we talk about the rule of law is not just any law. It must be laws that make sense. It must be laws that develop the country. It must be laws that stimulate socio-economic development. And when laws cease to do that, they no longer qualify to be called rule of law. We are allowed to say, yes, we know this is the law in place. But this law is not meeting rule of law standards. We will not be denying that there are laws. We'll say, yeah, that's the law, but that law is not meeting. So our debate must be on the basis of this law not being suitable. Now I find it problematic when the Reserve Bank wakes up the next day and says, okay, we imposed the 1,000 limit on those with money in their banks. Now they were only imposing on those who already have money. Now if a person has money already and they want to take it to a bank, they will not take it to a bank. You know that. This one. If you have 40,000 on you, and you know that if I take it to a bank, then I won't be able to get it back when I need it. So I won't take it to a bank. So that means this practice or this law is now even creating serious problems for this economy. And we're all seeing that. Now when you criticize that, that is academic, it's not political. You're looking at the rule of law, what is the law doing there? Now at the end of the day, there's a very clear link between the rule of law and socio-economic development. I'm sure you're saying it, this one. The type of laws we have in place, if they do not meet certain minimum standards that promote economic development, then the rule of law is very much intricately related to social and economic development. Now that's what the Reserve Bank did. Then the next day they said, look, they got complaints from tobacco farmers or farmers. Said, all right, every farmer, they first said corporates, whoever called corporate, whatever, you can get $10,000 in a day. You can withdraw. Then they woke up and said, look, if you are a farmer and so on, you are also a cooperative, so you are allowed to get 10,000 back. So some people that have their money in the banks can withdraw 10,000. Other people with money in the banks can only withdraw 1,000. The difference between the two people is that this one has been given that privilege by the Reserve Bank. That's the difference. Not because they are any different, those people. It's because the Reserve Bank has said that, okay, you 10,000. Now, who says the company needs more money than an individual? Who says that? You might want money for. This is what I'm saying. That's arbitrary. What is it? How are you? So any law that makes some level of reasonableness will not qualify.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.